All right, that's a wrap for the 2025 shed season for me. I absolutely love shed season. I love going after and monitoring mature deer on trail camera, in person, observation, and also with the drone to kind of watch and see which ones have dropped and which ones haven't. And then putting a plan together and going after them, finding them. It's like Easter egg hunting for adults. This year was very fruitful for considering the short amount of time and distance I put into it. And very rewarding because I was able to take my son Dakota, who will be 5 years old next month, and he was able to finally keep up in some of the less rugged areas that are not as steep or as thick. But he was a trooper, and he is bit with the shed hunting bug pretty bad.
Let's go this way.
I found another shed!
Where?
What?
OMG!
No way, dude! You got.
Oh my gosh, Dakota!
Oh my gosh! How'd you do that?
Master shredder!
Dakota, how'd you find it so easy?
I was right here, and this one was laying right there.
A couple times I did not go with him. He had some epic meltdowns, so that was really rewarding to be able to take him, and then also walk with my wife and my daughter Lola.
Lola, do you want to see it? You want to see it?
Holy cow!
Other side.
Here you go, you want to see it?
Dakota, you have fantastic eyesight. I can't believe you saw that. I didn't see it.
Careful.
Whoa.
There you
Oh
go.
my God.
That's your prize. That's your white gold.
That is my golden ever seen.
Good job, Dakota.
I literally freaked out.
Wow.
You literally freaked
What is this book?
So, whenever you have the chance to get out, it's a nice excuse to take your family, get some sunshine, some vitamin D, some exercise, and it's not going to negatively affect your hunting area whatsoever, and it's a nice way to get them involved in the outdoors. Before I forget, if you guys like the content, hit the subscribe button and the like button, and to get all the alerts of all the upcoming videos, hit the bell notification as well. Although I made a shed hunting tip earlier in the winter, I want to rehash a couple things that are worth repeating. The first and foremost, most important tip for successful shed hunting is that you want to wait until they drop. You can't kill big bucks on farms that don't have big deer, and you can't find sheds that haven't hit the ground yet. So I like to monitor the deer with trail cameras, and this last year and this winter I've been using the Tacticam Reveal 3.0s for the first time, and boy, what a godsend. You get that accurate up to the minute intel, and to be able to stay out of your sensitive areas and wait until they drop is really important. I also want to mention how important it is to go slow. And man, for years I thought if I just, the miles for piles mantra, and there's some truth to that, held water. But now as I get older, I realize the slower I go, the more I find. And there was a story that's kind of funny, embarrassing, but it's valuable. I was in Iowa years ago shed hunting, and I'm about 2.5, 3 hours into it, and I thought I was covering this bedding area pretty good, and I stopped to take a leak, and when I looked down next to my backpack off to the side, there was a half of a 6-point, so 3-point side, and it was like 18 inches away, and I was like, my God, that was an eye-opener, because I thought I was going slow, but I was not going slow enough. So you want to go really slow. You want to wait until they drop, of course. Go on overcast, cloudy days. That's important. Sunny days like today would be absolutely terrible. Everything casts shadows, and they're really tough to see. I even like drizzly rainy days. Those are good as well. And then you have to bring binoculars. You'll save a lot of time and effort by walking through areas and spotting what looks like a shed, and only find out after walking up to it it's a piece of garbage or something. So take binoculars with you. You can punch through the brush a lot easier with binoculars. Save a lot of time. It's more efficient. So definitely bring binos. But one thing that I wanted to be really mindful of this winter was I want to be very intentional with when I went in and where I went in. And yes, I use trail cameras. I run them well into the winter so I can monitor what deer drop. But I also have been using a lot of drone. footage to monitor food sources when it's crazy bitter cold and they're coming into my standing beans or my turnip plots, and watch them from a distance right at prime time to see what trails they're using. Now, I love trail cameras, and especially when they're set on video mode, just like the next guy. However, it's sometimes deceptive. So for example, one food plot I have, it's about 100 yards wide by about 300 yards long. The field, not the entire field, is not a food plot. I kind of break it up into little sections, but the field's 100 by 300 yards long. And you could have a trail camera on the south end, for example. I'm actually thinking of one camera in particular facing north, and you have a buck coming in, and most evenings, but not every evening, when he enters that food plot, sometimes he comes in right before what would be considered the end of legal shooting light, sometimes an hour and a half after legal shooting light, but he's coming in that food source, and most of the time he's coming in from, let's say, the west. So you're assuming that that deer is approaching the food source from his bedding area from the west, going north, northeast, east. But by filming with a drone during that same time, and the trail camera tells you when that deer is coming in, he might be coming in from the north end and then just circling around and then passing by that camera, because that's just the route that he takes, so it's misleading. But with the drone, when you're watching and filming in real time, you can see what that particular buck's pattern is, okay, what his routine is. And so when he does finally drop, you'll know what trails to start focusing on. This year I found 16 sheds and 1 deadhead, and I walked 5.2 miles according to Onyx. That's 1 shed for every 0.34 miles. Now, I normally average about 2 to 3 miles, maybe 3.5 miles per shed. But this year I waited. Now, I did shed hunt a little bit in late January. I found one the last week of December, but that was an incidental find next to one of my trail cameras. But I didn't actually start looking until the end of January, the last week. And I only hit the spots that were on the very outside perimeter of the property, far from any bedding areas. But with the drone, when you're watching a food source, a lot of times you'll have a specific buck that comes into an evening food source, and he has preferred trail or trails that he uses, and that may or may not be accurate information that your trail camera is revealing to you. So by having a drone, you can watch multiple evenings, and that'll help kind of fine-tune and focus your attention on specific trails to start your search when the deer actually drop. So hopefully some of those tips will help. You know, in this case with Coke Can, I just posted a video about this not too many days ago, but I was really, really hopeful to find his sheds. And I knew the exact day that he dropped, and I knew the part of the field that he used to like to access from both in tree stand and hunting season, late season observation, the trail cameras, and then of course in January and February by watching him with the drone. That's where I focused my attention, and that's where I started. And I found his sheds about 125 yards off the food plot. Now, the last picture I got of him carrying both sides was February 18th. And from that camera, I found his sheds 502 yards, 502 paces away from that camera. But the route that I took to start the search off that west-southwest corner of the food plot was a part of the field that I noticed him in real time while filming with the drone. And so that's where I started, and sure enough, on day 2, about 2.5 hours into the search, I found his sheds. So that was pretty exciting. But I was really hopeful to find him, and glad that I did. So turkey season's just around the corner. Before we get to that point, based on what I learned from last season, especially on one of my new farms, I'm going to have to tweak some of those stand locations. I'm going to take the last few stands down to swap out some of the straps, and just for overall tree stand maintenance, just safety 101. Cut some shooting lanes, some more access trails, and that type of thing. This is the time of year to do that. But I want to end this video by saying thanks for taking the time to watch, and I have an announcement. on August 9th and 10th, I'll be hosting a whitetail workshop weekend. And on that weekend, that 2-day event, I'm having Justin Synan, the host of the Runnin' and Gunnin' podcast show. He's going to be coming out from, he'll be living in Iowa at that time, I believe, and he'll be coming out to talk about tips and tactics for the saddle hunter and for the whitetail fanatic that wants to take his or her game to the next level by using the mobile approach with saddle stands. So he'll be sharing his tips and tactics, and we're excited to work on this together. We're going to be sharing a combined 54 years of hunting experience and what has worked for us over the last few decades. And so I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to attach a flyer here at the end. And if you guys are interested, you can reach out to either Justin or myself, and we can put you on the list. And that'll be August 9th and 10th. So thanks again for watching, guys, and good luck this spring.